Hi, I'm Jamie, and if you're watching this video, which I suspect you are, then you're a lot like me. You're a serious gamer with very serious gamer needs. The 12, 15 or so buttons on a DualSense video game controller are not enough for you. You need extra clicky guys on the back. And 2 won't do. You need a whole lot of them, 4 to be exact. And if you were wondering what some guy with 0 followers or subscribers or whatever and no tech reviewing experience thinks about the ExtremeRate Rise 4, you better stay tuned. Now, I've used a lot of back button type controllers, my favorite probably being the Elite controller for the Microsoft Xbox One. I've also used some third-party stuff like this 8-bit Do Pro 2 thing. Click. I've also used the ExtremeRate Dawn PS4 DualShock 4 back button modification kit. You can see here the back buttons are removed. I don't know why. I haven't used a controller in a while. As well as the Nacon Revolution Unlimited Pro or whatever. Now, if you're wondering if I used the ExtremeRate Rise 1 or 2, whatever, I did not. I was waiting for there to be a 4-button solution to my 4-button problems I was having. Before getting the ExtremeRate Rise 4, I was using a modified back button type doodad that you buy off eBay for 30 bucks or so, which I have since gutted, as you can see, to make room for the ExtremeRate Rise 4. And these back button attachments are normally used for competitive games, but I like to use them for all sorts of stuff. Like, yeah, I mostly play Apex Legends on it, and I've used them in Warzone and that kind of thing. But I also love them in other types of games, like action, adventure, platforming, all that nonsense. Great for jump buttons, great for dodge buttons, like I'm playing Sekiro right now and using it for jumping and dodging. And they're great for those. I pretty much can't live without them, right? Going back to using a controller without them sucks, and that was a real rough part of the launch of the PS5, is having to use the DualSense, which I think is a good controller, don't get me wrong, but like, I need them back clickies. But you don't care about any of that. You just want to know if this thing is good and how good it is, if it is good. Well, I'm here to tell you, it's good. But not good enough for me. But it'll have to do, because there's no other options. So my issue with it, and I have several, the buttons are very sensitive. And I don't know if it's just my unit, but I'm constantly accidentally pressing the buttons. And I know you hear that kind of thing whenever somebody makes any review video on any sort of back button attachment and they're not used to them. But like I said, I have way too many of these damn controllers, right? I've used a lot of them, and I've been able to make do with each and every single one of them and not hit the buttons on the back by accident, but I sure do that a lot with the ExtremeRate Rise 4. Now, looking on Reddit, somebody recommended using this foam here that you'll find on the inside of your DualSense controller. You take it apart and kind of stuffing it in between, you're not going to be able to see this, but stuffing it in between the back paddles to kind of create a bit of a buffer that you kind of have to push through a little more. Now, the trick works, but it doesn't feel very good, in my opinion. The buttons lose some of their clickiness, and it's just a very mushy pull on the paddle, and that's not a good game feel. You want your buttons to feel good, and that doesn't feel good. Now, my other issue with it is that the inner 2 buttons that they added for the Rise 4 are not very easily accessed. I find myself constantly just automatically using my thumb to reach up on the face buttons, which kind of defeats the purpose. If I knew that I was going to be doing that, I would have just bought the Rise 1, 2, or whatever way before and just dealt with only having 2 back buttons, but what can you do? There's no other solution at the moment. There's probably some crazy controller that I can get right now that's custom from Beaver, custom, Extreme Zone, whatever, that has all the buttons I want, but it'll be $650, and I don't want to spend $600 on a controller. So I can hear all of you asking me, Jamie, are you going to keep the ExtremeRate Rise4 ExtremeRate Rise4 back button attachment on my DualSense controller and use that as my main video game controller? And the answer is resounding yes, despite all of its flaws, because, well, there's no other option. So, yeah, I will. I will throw this immediately in the garbage and use the next best solution. Well, I won't throw it in the garbage. I'll probably give it to one of my schlep friends or something like that, and overcharge him, tell him it's worth a lot. But until then, I'm going to use it. I'm going to have to be happy with it. Moosehead. But I will be immediately buying the next best thing, whether that's from ExtremeRate. That seems to be a bit of a better solution. Maybe some built-in buttons that aren't so big and bulky and inelegantly placed, or Sony's. I've turned on my PlayStation. Or will I use whatever Sony comes out with for a back button attachment, probably right before the PlayStation 6 comes out. Maybe that back button attachment kind of sucked, in my opinion. It was way too bulky and uncomfortable. Do I recommend that you buy this thing? Sure, why not? There's no other solution. I mean, it's like around $50 probably after tax and all that. I use fake Canadian dollars, so this translation doesn't really line up very well, but it's probably something around like that in the United States dollars or wherever you are from. If you like this video, press the like button, press the subscribe button, find other buttons that look like those and press them. Maybe I'll make another video about reviewing tech and PlayStation stuff. I make no promises, though. This might be the first and last video I ever make, so yeah, have a good one. Now, this is an honest review. ExtremeRate did not send me this back button thing, probably on account of this being my first and only video and me having just started this channel. But they do pay my rent. They gave me a ride to work yesterday. They're putting my kids through college. They sucked my cock.